Parker is a normal high school student. Every morning he goes to school, chats with his friends in class, and explores the city by walking the busy streets of New York. From the outside, Peter's life doesn't look all that different. He is a teenager who, like other students, strives to pass his classes, have fun with his friends, and help his family. Every day of his life is a routine, and he doesn't seem to have many big plans for the future. But little does anyone know that Peter's life is about to change forever. Peter is about to embark on a much bigger and more exciting adventure than your average teenager. This ordinary-looking teenager is about to embark on a journey that will unexpectedly give him world-changing powers. And this journey will be the turning point where he is recognized as a superhero. Before taking on this new identity, Peter has lived an ordinary life, but suddenly he finds himself in a completely different world. This is just the beginning of Peter Parker's journey to becoming the superhero known as Spider-Man. One day, Peter goes on a school trip to a science fair. Everything seems normal, but suddenly a spider falls into Peter's hand and bites him. At first, he feels nothing, but within a few hours, he notices strange changes in his body. He is stronger than ever. Suddenly, he can jump high, climb walls, and run fast. Peter doesn't quite understand what's happening, but these powers are definitely not ordinary. It is then that he realizes that he has changed. He is no longer the Peter he once was. At first, he finds the abilities the spider bite has given him amusing. But as time goes on, he begins to realize how great his power is, and that it comes with great responsibility. A number of questions arise in his mind. What is happening? How should I use my powers? What can I do with these abilities? Although he tests his abilities in a playful way, he realizes that this new power is not only a physical transformation, but also an emotional and mental one. His life will never be the same. Peter suddenly realizes he has new powers. He is confused at first, and as he tries to understand what is happening, he feels his body changing in incredible ways. Suddenly, he can climb walls, run at incredible speeds, and lift objects with great strength. As his powers become more apparent, Peter realizes just how extraordinary they are. At first, he doesn't know what to do, wondering how he will cope with such a big change. But then he decides to put his new abilities to the test. Trying different heights, walking on walls, and even running fast excites him, and he starts to discover his powers in a fun way. But with each new ability, a bigger question arises in Peter's mind. What can I do with them? At first, he takes the simple approach of testing his powers for fun. But as time goes on, he realizes how great and dangerous his power can be. As he feels more powerful and capable, an inner question begins to arise. Should these powers be used just for fun? Or should they be used to make the world a better place? Peter asks himself this question over and over again. And each time he gets more and more confused. Using his powers properly is not just physical fun, but a great responsibility. These thoughts lead Peter to a turning point in his heroic journey. No longer just a fun experience, he begins to think about the meaning and purpose of these powers. How should I use these powers? Becomes a growing and life-changing question in Peter's mind. Peter uses his superpowers for the first time to catch a real criminal. When a man tries to escape with the goods he has stolen from the shop, Peter quickly intervenes. He catches the thief in an instant and turns him over to the police. This is a moment of triumph for Peter, because for the first time he has caught a real criminal and brought him to justice. But Peter does not feel like a hero. Even though he has just caught a thief using his powers, he has mixed feelings about the job. Catching thieves may be fun in a way, But he realizes that there is a much deeper meaning behind it. As Peter fights criminals, he begins to realize that it is not just a physical battle. He realizes that there is a great responsibility to use his powers for the right purpose, not just to punish crime. Being a hero teaches that power must be used in the right way, not just physically, but emotionally and ethically. Although it may seem easy to fight petty crimes, such as theft, the responsibility of a hero is never so simple. As Peter learns the true meaning behind his powers, he realizes that heroism is something much deeper. Being a hero is not just about being strong. It is also about standing up for justice, ethics, and what is right. This event shows Peter that he must take on greater responsibilities in his hero's journey. A true hero is one who can use his power in the right way. Peter's Uncle Ben is not only a family man, but also the most valuable teacher of his life. One day, after Peter has made a big mistake, Uncle Ben teaches him a very important lesson. With great power comes great responsibility, he says. This simple but profound statement resonates with Peter and becomes a turning point for him. His uncle's words reshape the meaning of everything in his life. At first, Peter does not fully realize how profound these words are, but over time, they guide him through every challenge he faces. Uncle Ben's philosophy teaches Peter not only how to be a superhero, but also how to be a human being. Being strong, making the right decisions, and taking responsibility are only part of the hero's journey. Peter realizes that being a hero means not only relying on his strength, but also making the right choices. Although his powers save him from many dangers, true heroism is being able to protect others, being selfless and doing the right thing in every situation. Uncle Ben's words become a guiding light for Peter every step of the way. They help him find the right path not only in heroism, but in every aspect of his life. Ultimately, the philosophy of with great power comes great responsibility becomes the most important lesson that changes Peter's life and shapes his character. Peter finally decides to become a superhero, and this decision prepares him for the biggest test of his life. His first real enemy, the Green Goblin, emerges as a powerful and dangerous evil force threatening New York City. The Green Goblin is not only physically strong, but also possesses a complex intelligence and dangerous strategy. At first, Peter struggles against his power, as the Green Goblin's attacks are completely unexpected. However, Peter begins to counter this threat not only with his strength, but also with his intelligence and agility. With each step, he learns more from the challenges he faces. The Green Goblin's plans become much more complicated for Peter. The villain's intelligence challenges Peter not only physically, but also psychologically. Peter realizes that this is not just a battle for power. This is a war that can be won with the right strategy, preparation, and courage. Using not only his strength, but also his mind and logic, Peter tries to escape the Green Goblin's traps. This battle teaches Peter that being a superhero is not just about physical strength, but also about strategy and making the right decisions. War is not always a battle of physical strength. Sometimes it is about making the right moves and analyzing the enemy. As Peter goes through this great ordeal, he learns that true heroism is not only about strength, but also about strategy and courage. While Peter continues his life as Spider-Man, he also tries to be a normal person as Peter Parker. He constantly tries to balance his responsibility to protect his loved ones with his duty to fight crime in the city. Living both identities at the same time becomes a great inner struggle for him. Peter sometimes tries to be close to his loved ones during the day, and protect the city at night. However, this balance becomes more difficult every day. He is torn between spending time with his loved ones, trying to protect them from harm, and continuing to fight criminals. This inner conflict is the most difficult part of his hero's journey. At times, Peter feels tired, lonely, and lost. The line between being human and being a hero becomes increasingly blurred. But despite all the difficulties, Peter always gets up again because he sees his heroic duty not just as an obligation, but as a responsibility to do the right thing. This gives him not only strength, but also inner growth. Heroism is a battle that sometimes has to be fought within, not against external enemies. In facing this inner struggle, Peter explores deeply what it means to be both a hero and a human being. His greatest triumph is finding himself on the right path by winning his inner battles,